Are governments responsible for the terrorism in their countries? So,
We're,
no, go.
we're agreeing on this topic. Because we said governments are responsible for terrorism because if a terrorist attack happens in your country, then that means that the government isn't providing enough security for like the people in that country. That's our first point.
Okay, so our first point is that in different countries, right, while like the government against them, like the terrorists itself. For example, like in Nigeria, right, how you see like Boko Haram, he's part of he's Nigerian, right? But then the government itself is against him. So we think that the government are not the terrorists.
You think that the government?
It's not.
But that's not the
No,
point.
we're not saying that the government are terrorists. We're just saying that the government they're responsible for terrorism.
Like yes, but we think they're not responsible. It's like how you see like the terrorists in their own country, how they're against them. Like if like for example, like,
I think she's saying that like, for example, if someone is Senegalese and there's the Senegalese government and the Senegalese person is trying to like terrorize, the government is not going to be responsible. It's not.
like they're not because like they're not like they don't believe in the same thing that they believe in. Like the government itself is trying to protect its own country, so why would it be with the terrorists that's killing their own population?
Well, our second point.
Okay, but there's just one thing I have to say.
Okay. Our second point.
Like we just had, another debate, and someone said that the government shouldn't allow the freedom of speech, right? And that kind of like the too much like having that much liberty, that much freedom to say what you want, affect other people because it attacks them and it provokes other people to attack you. Okay? So the government shouldn't allow people to have this much freedom of speech. That's all.
But then the government, then that means it's not a democratic like.
If you don't have freedom of speech,
You can have freedom of speech.
Like yes.
What?
If you don't
I
have
think you're like
freedom of speech, a lot of things can be done.
I didn't say you can't have freedom of speech. I just said not that much freedom of speech.
But then a government is trying to do the best for its own country. So why would
But
they
then
not do that?
how will you have
Mr. Trump said something really important. He said that when the president wanted to do burning Quran Day, it's the government who tell them not to do it. If they did it, they might attract terrorists to their country, and it would be a coward. Straight. That's why the government is trying to protect their own country, telling them to not do it.
Yeah, but you just proved my point. What if the government did not really care and let them do what they want? Then there would be chaos, right? If it was other countries, some governments might let that happen, might tell the priest, okay, so you can burn Qurans every day you want, any day you want.
But that's not the case.
That's not the case, but it was only in one country. In other countries, other governments might accept that.
But then they're not part of it though.
Okay, Nina, to go off of your point, I feel like if a country has enough freedom, like if everyone in a country has freedom, then then they should control their media, because I feel like in the United States, for example, the media talks a lot about Muslims and like how Muslims are not good people and stuff like that. And so if they allow everyone in the country to have the religious freedom or the freedom of speech or whatever, then that would reduce the amount of terrorism. Because if a person feels like they can't express their own religion or their own thoughts or ideas, then they might feel like, oh, so you're not letting me, so I have to like do something about it.
But then think about it, like if you're in your country, right, and then the government is preventing you from speaking from your rights, like how would you feel? So basically the government is giving them enough rights to talk about what its own population want to talk about. But then the point again, the point that we're talking about is about the government providing for the terrorism. but then like they're not because they're against them.
But what Nigel just said was that it's usually media that's making people think that Muslims are terrorists and all that type of stuff, right? Then the government should control the media somehow.
Yes. Because I never feel like the government has control over a lot of things. They might not have control over everything, but they have control over a lot of things, and I think media is something that they can control.
But then the government is not terrorism itself. Because if it's saying you have freedom of speech,
Then you're allowed to talk about whatever you feel. But then if the government controls the media, they're not letting them have their rights of freedom of speech. So it's contradictory. Their government contradicts itself.
But have you noticed how now the government, because of media, there are more and more terrorists all around the world, just because of media.
Yeah.
So media is the biggest way to affect this type of stuff. So every government should control every type of media in the world, because media can change a lot of stuff.
Also, media
Yeah.
can spread a lot of things really fast, really quickly.
And I don't feel like freedom of speech has to do with media. I think freedom of speech has to do like from person to person, like from me to you or from me to the class. What was I gonna say? Media is like something that should be giving news. It shouldn't be taking a side or an opinion. Like they should just be giving facts instead of giving opinions, because that's what tells people like, oh, these people are like this and these people are like that, and that's wrong. Like you shouldn't be doing that. You should be.
I mean,
She's saying like you should be stating facts and not giving opinions.
but like but then the government can control everything. For example, like the government can control everything. For example, like what happened in Paris, like the Charlie Hebdo stuff that happened there. Like the government itself wasn't like provoking them, like yeah. It's like so the government can control everybody. Like even if like he stopped everyone from using media or from telling people to not do certain stuff on media, like he cannot stop that. He can't control everybody. Like, and plus if he was doing that, right, he's ruling his own country in his own way, instead of other people, his own population way.
I know what you're saying that the government should control the media, but you're saying the government should control the media, but there are a lot of different media. How can the government see all of them?
No.
Well,
Most media is public.
but like there's a lot of them.
Yeah,
A
but
lot of them could be saying different opinions. How can you? I feel like governments have power to do a lot of things. Like if they can control, like say the government in the United States, for example, if they can control like 50 states, they can control media from those states, and they can like say, make laws like
But then they have right of speech, freedom of speech.
then that means that country is no more democracy. Because that means nobody has the right to do what they want. Nobody don't have the right to give news in the media.
I mean, but if you're giving news in the media, you shouldn't be taking an opinion on it. You should be stating facts.
because people state like people having freedom of speech means giving your opinion on anything you want, and the media takes the opinion from the people and like just show it to the whole world, right? So that means that instead of just taking the opinion from people, you gotta state facts. And if they were stating facts and telling you the truth, you wouldn't have this terrorism, this terrorism problems.
Wait, terrorism, right? It starts all of what people think. Like terrorism itself starts of how people like terrorism as Muslims, right? How people are thinking about them and how they want to change the thoughts about them. But then like it's not on the government because like if everybody's thinking differently about Muslims and all that, and like if we all say like.
For example, as you just said something about religion, music can change us. We see, for example, rappers drinking alcohol, smoking. We think we can do that too, but that's not part of our religion. So that's what our fact is trying to say.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with the government.
You don't have to do something that someone else is doing. Because
Can you speak up?
you can do something. You know that this is not right, and you want to do it.
You don't have
So
to
why
follow
do you have to do
everything.
it? You don't have to
I
follow
understand what
someone.
you're saying. I understand that people don't have the right to do anything they want.
No.
But look, everything that happens, there's a cause to everything, right? There's a cause to everything. There's a reason for everything. So every time people think something and try to attack other people, there's a cause. There's a reason that makes them want to attack other people, and that reason comes from media. And media should be controlled by the government. So basically, it's so simple. The government should control everything and be responsible for everything. Not everything, but
Why can't you change that reason?
what?
Why can't you do something to change the reason?
Why can't I do something to
Yeah.
change the reason?
Yeah. The reason of the bad end, like to make it good.
To make it good? Well, that's mostly the government's that's the government's job.
Not only government, you have to.
I know we have to try, but the government control
Okay,
everything.
next
To
one.
go on to the next point, our next point is if people in a country don't have political freedom, they might feel like they have to go against the government and stuff. Like, for example, Donald Trump, like he's very racist, and he's saying stuff about. He's stereotyping people and saying that these people shouldn't be allowed in our country and we're trying to make America great again and stuff like that. And I feel like he has his own freedom to say what he says, but I don't think that he should take his opinion and try to influence it on everybody in the country, like saying these people should go back to where they came from and that stuff. That was given a reason to become president, and he's trying to influence people. He's trying to have his own party so people can vote for him, and that's his own choice. But I understand what you're saying about that he shouldn't be saying.
Okay, but then Donald Trump, right? He is saying basically of what he's right? But then not everyone is the same. Like not everybody in the government will want to be like him. Because if everybody is raised differently. For example, like how you guys become president is Barack Obama, right? He's not against what people think or what people are. So so not everybody is the same.
Not everybody. Because Donald Trump, we feel like that he's trying to take out the Muslim, and if he's president, there's going to be a big war between them. And no other government want a war versus the thing.
He's trying to take out the Mexicans and Muslims. But what if somebody in the government is Mexican or Muslim? They're gonna try everything they can do to take him out. But the thing about it is, if Donald Trump becomes president, say he does, and then he kicks out all of the Muslims and all of the Mexicans in the country and does whatever he wants, and then if that group of people decides to fight back, like say the Mexicans and the Muslims work together and they go and they fight back against Donald Trump, then will they be considered terrorists? Because that is his fault, and they're just fighting for their rights.
Exactly.
She's saying
Preach.
that if the Muslims and the Mexicans teamed up together and Donald Trump was president and they tried to fight him and take him out, is that terrorism?
So they only fight for their rights.
Exactly. So you prove our points. They're fighting for their rights. So you shouldn't think of every terrorism as bad people.
Can I just say that terrorism, right? Like what the people what you said about the Muslim and the Mexican fighting back, right? That would not be considered as a terrorist. Like
It would, because I feel like in America, if they went and did something that prove that they want to come back or whatever, they want their rights back, then I think that Americans, the white Americans, would think, oh, that's terrorists, we're the victims and stuff, and they wouldn't think about what they did to provoke the group of people against them.
But it's not the same, because what happened to Ivory Coast, the government didn't do anything. The terrorists just came and they killed a lot of people for no reason. So we can't blame the terrorists if it's like that. We can't blame the government if they didn't do anything. they come and attack their country.
But I get what you're saying, right? But I can't believe that. And in everything, in everything that happens, in my opinion, this is not a fact. It's an opinion, right? Everything has a cause. Everything has a reason. So they must have a reason to go, to go just kill some people for something, to go stand up for themselves. But what you just told me was that they went to kill people for no reason. But I don't have any proof. You don't have any proof to it. Like, you can't prove that to me. So I can't believe that.
There was actually proof for like what happened at Charlie Hebdo. What was it? Because
What happened to Louis?
like what happened at Charlie Hebdo. People think it's a terrorism, right? Because of what the police actually did, right? You said that you
Because of
don't
what the
think.
police actually did.
And there's another case in Mali. If they said terrorists were Muslim, why would they go and attack a Muslim country like Mali?
Because
Yeah, but not even the government. Because we're saying that they're not providing any security.
But what if
But
the
you have
government
this wrong.
like a terrorist? They're not gonna tell everybody we're gonna come and attack here, and here.
And you don't know the terrorists
Yeah,
can
the
be
government doesn't know that the terrorists are coming to the
I
country to attack. Yes, they have security, but they didn't know that the government.
And the terrorists, they
No,
part of
but-
their
no,
country.
what y'all said just hurt me because you're saying that why would terrorists go attack a Muslim country? You're saying you're talking like all terrorism, all terrorists are Muslim.
And
No, they're not. So the terrorists that went to attack Mali, they might not be Muslims. So why are you saying that like all terrorists are Muslims?
but then can we get to the point, please?
wait, can I say something?
You're
To go off
gonna
of
talk
Abdulaziz's point,
Careful.
to go off of Abdulaziz's point of terrorists attacking their own countries, I don't think it has something to do with like this is my country, so I'm not gonna fight them. I think terrorism has to do with I have a belief and people don't believe it, so I'm gonna go and attack them to make them believe the same thing that I do. I don't think it has to do with countries. These are my people. These are not my people.
Okay. Now, if I understand well, you say that the media should be controlled by the government so as to prevent them from causing terrorist attack and stuff like that. And you were in favor of the opinion that people should be allowed to express their opinion whatsoever. Is it so?
Even if the point
I'm
is
talking about the two opinions.
No.
The opinion was that the government, the terrorist is not the government. It's not the government's fault for civil choices of attacking other countries.
So my question is, should the government control all the media?
yes.
That's what you said.
Because I believe that
No, that's not what they said.
they said that. They said that government is not government doesn't cause that. Government can't control everything, and it's people that have to make the right choices.
Now my question is, I'm just going to remind you the reason why the Bill of Rights was introduced in the American Constitution. The American Constitution was written without taking into account the individual freedom of people. So the 13 states say that some of the 13 states say that before they ratify the Constitution, the Bill of Rights should be introduced in the Constitution. What is the Bill of Rights? Individual freedom, freedom of expression, freedom of association, freedom of religion, freedom of sexual orientation, all kind of freedom. All kind of individual freedom should be introduced in the Constitution so that the Constitution should be ratified by the now. If you say that the media should be controlled by the government, it's no longer democracy, but it's a dictatorship. Because people should be allowed to express their opinion. Now, as I said, it's up to the individual to control himself, not to hurt other people's feelings, not to stereotype other people's, and to go out of ignorance by learning tradition, culture, religion, and everything that belongs to the other people who is different from me. But I'm not going to say that Anna is Christian, I'm Muslim, Anna is bad.
It's always Anna.
No way. I'm just. So you should not say that. You should say, okay, what is Anna's religion? What is it about? and then should make investigation, should make research, should try to understand why things are like that. And then Anna also should say, what is Mr. Cham's belief? Okay, let me say, why does he behave that way? Why does he ask questions but not with the intention of mocking, but just with the intention of acquiring knowledge? Which means that I can agree with you to a certain extent the government should control the media, but not, when I say control, just to a certain extent, not to allow them to.
That's what we mean.
Yes,
Not totally control.
if that's what you mean, because, and I know also one thing, that opinion, there is no media, all medias in the world, even though their intention is just to tell facts, they are conveying opinion.
Yeah.
They are conveying opinion without either being conscious or not, whether they are conscious or not, they always convey opinion of a group. Because Yusudu was in favor of the we during the campaign.
Of the?
Of we
Yeah.
during the campaign.
I can't say so.
During the referendum.
We know. Wait,
During the referendum.
Yes.
The referendum took place
Yes.
last Sunday.
Yeah.
He was in favor of yes. And he is the owner of TFM. So Yusudu can use his radio and his television to make propaganda.
No, but the government, Macky Sall wants to shut down TFM, matter of fact.
No.
No, that was
Walfadjri.
That was another radio. That was Walfadjri, not TFM.
Not TFM.
TFM belongs to Yusudu, and Yusudu is in favor of Macky Sall. So, and Sidi Lamin Niasse, who is the owner of Walfadjri, was against Macky Sall, and he was making propaganda through his media, through his television,
Yes.
in order to urge people to go and vote against for the
My
North.
aunt is no.
So you see, all medias, whether they written media, printed media, or
Mass media.
or television,
Or
or
more
internet,
modern technology.
yes, they are always conveying opinion of the people who made those media, because those who created the internet, we're not going to blame them to make the promotion of their culture, of their tradition, of their religion. We're not going to blame them for that. They created it, they're going to make the promotion of what they believe. It's up to us now to create something that will allow us to make the promotion of our religion, culture, and everything that we believe in.
But I still believe that there are some limits to freedom of speech. You don't have, just because, I mean, I feel like the government apparently could have controlled that situation. I mean, they don't want anybody to get killed.
Of course, the freedom of speech,
There should be limits.
all freedom, my freedom stops where your freedom starts.
That's
Yeah,
what
no,
I'm
I
saying.
So, if I say that I have the freedom of speech and I come to you and say,
You're so black.
Wow.
If you're white and you say that.
White people are.
If you do, or you say that.
I can react in a way that might not.
But
like
you proved our points twice.
Black doesn't crack.
You proved our points
Yes,
twice.
I'm not here just if I prove your point, it means that to a certain extent you are right on that point. If I prove somebody else's point, it means that maybe they are right or we both wrong. We might be both wrong.
But I have a question. It's like what she said. She said that government have total control of the media and everything. But when you refer to North Korea, internet is banished. Like you can't use internet. It's a dictatorship. It's a dictatorship.
Dictatorship.
But the government tried to protect the civils in that country. The citizens are protected because you know that internet could cause a lot of trouble in a country. Like that's one of the causes of terrorism. That's why he tried his best, and the only solution was to like say no to internet, and then there's no internet. But they're safe when they have no trouble. They can live their life.
No one can attack them.
Listen to me. I mean, that's not because don't allow internet on the country that they're protecting. Maybe they're trying to protect themselves. Because the internet is showing what's going on in other countries, how free people from other countries are, how free young people in other countries are. So you might not want the young people of your country to copy those young people and maybe develop aspiration toward freedom or toward freedom of expression or freedom of religion, freedom of association. So you say, if my young people see what's going on in America, or if they see what's going on in countries where there is democracy, they might want to imitate them. So let me just cut internet and not allow it in my country. That can be their motives.
But there's also the Charlie Hebdo thing. It's not something really recent. It's going on for like 20 years, I think 25 or something up to 50 years. Charlie Hebdo has been going on, and they've been talking about religion, talking about politics, mocking people like the president, everything. It's not something really recent. So the government should have stopped that, because it should have said, oh, it's not only politics. If it was just politics, it's alright. But it's also religion, so they should stop that. And that would have saved those joggers from the 7th of whatever month it was. So it is, the government should have thought about that. The government should have that initiated. So it's still part of this platform.
But then
I agree with what you're saying, because instead of you should have solved the situation when it started, not when it started to get, not when something just happened. And freedom of speech should be limited. We can't just say something negative and expect nothing to happen. There's so many things to talk about. I think
Okay, guys, that was very interesting.
we didn't vote for who won.
Okay. No, that's what I'm saying. So,
both of them.
Oh my God, no. You voted for you guys. You voted for
guys,
You voted for us.
I voted for you.
Because
Yeah, they
you have the video.
Mister.
I'm going to show Madam Khan the video, and she's going to tell me which.
Mr. Charles.
they also got
Mr.
points
Charles.
that people should know what they like.
Mr. Charles, because